We often think of time as an arrow, flying straight from the past, through the present and into the future. This metaphor of the arrow is deeply embedded in our consciousness, shaping our understanding of time as a linear progression. We imagine ourselves moving along this arrow, with each moment passing by in a straight, unbroken line. This linear view is ingrained in us. From a young age, we are taught to see time as a sequence of events, each following the other in a predictable order. We learn to read clocks and calendars, to plan our days and our lives according to this linear framework. It shapes how we experience the world. Our schedules, our routines, and even our memories are all organized around this concept of linear time. We divide our lives into past, present, and future, and we navigate our days with the expectation that time will continue to move forward in a straight line. We remember yesterday, live in today, and anticipate tomorrow. This division of time into distinct segments helps us make sense of our experiences and plan for what lies ahead. It gives us a sense of continuity and order, allowing us to build on the past and prepare for the future. This arrow of time seems to define our reality. We see it in the rising and setting of the sun, in the ticking of the clock, and in the changing of the seasons. It is a constant presence in our lives, guiding our actions and shaping our perceptions. But is this linear perception accurate? Is time really a straight line, or is this just a convenient way for us to understand it? As we delve deeper into the nature of time, we begin to see that our linear view may be more of a human construct than a reflection of reality. Or is it a limited human construct? Throughout history, different cultures have viewed time in various ways. Some saw it as cyclical, with events repeating in a never-ending loop. Others saw it as a spiral, with each cycle bringing new experiences and growth. Throughout history, different cultures have viewed time in various ways. Some ancient civilizations, like the Mayans and the Hindus, perceived time as a series of cycles where events would repeat in a grand cosmic rhythm. This cyclical view of time is still present in many cultural and religious traditions today. Some saw it as cyclical, others as a spiral. In contrast to the linear view, these perspectives suggest that time is not a straight path, but a series of loops or spirals, where the past, present, and future are interconnected in complex ways. Even today, physicists grapple with the true nature of time. Theories in modern physics, such as relativity and quantum mechanics, challenge our traditional notions of linear time. They suggest that time may be more fluid and flexible than we once thought, with past, present, and future existing simultaneously in a complex web of interactions. Our linear bias stems from our perception of cause and effect. We see one event leading to another in a clear sequential order, and this reinforces our belief in a linear timeline. But what if this perception is just a product of our limited human perspective? We see events unfolding in a specific order. This order creates a sense of past, present, and future. We remember the cause and witness the effect, solidifying our belief in a linear timeline. However, as we delve deeper into the nature of time, we begin to question this simplistic view. This order creates a sense of past, present, and future. We remember the cause and witness the effect, solidifying our belief in a linear timeline. However, as we delve deeper into the nature of time, we begin to question this simplistic view. We remember the cause and witness the effect, solidifying our belief in a linear timeline. However, as we delve deeper into the nature of time, we begin to question this simplistic view. Could there be more to time than meets the eye? However, as we delve deeper into the nature of time, we begin to question this simplistic view. Could there be more to time than meets the eye? Could our linear perception be just one way of understanding a much more complex and multifaceted reality? Could there be more to time than meets the eye? The answer, as we explore further, might surprise you. As we continue to investigate the mysteries of time, we may discover new ways of understanding this fundamental aspect of our existence. The answer, as we explore further, might surprise you. The journey to uncover the true nature of time is just beginning, and it promises to challenge our deepest assumptions and expand our horizons in ways we can scarcely imagine. Long before clocks and calendars, ancient civilizations observed the natural world to understand time. They didn't have the sophisticated tools we rely on today, but they were keen observers of their environment. By watching the skies, the land, and the waters, they began to notice patterns that repeated over and over again. They witnessed the cyclical patterns of day and night, the sun rising in the east and setting in the west, marking the passage of time in a predictable manner. This daily cycle was one of the first indicators of time's repetitive nature. The waxing and waning of the moon provided another clear cycle. The moon's phases, from new to full and back again, offered a reliable way to measure longer periods of time. This lunar cycle was crucial for many ancient cultures, influencing everything from agriculture to religious rituals. The changing seasons, with their distinct characteristics, further reinforced the idea of time as a cycle. Spring brought new growth, summer warmth and abundance, autumn the harvest, and winter a time of rest and reflection. These recurring events formed the basis of their understanding of time. The Egyptians, for example, developed a calendar based on the Nile's floods, crucial for their agriculture. The annual flooding of the Nile was a predictable event that brought fertile soil to their fields, ensuring bountiful harvests. Their year consisted of 3 seasons, each with 4 months. This division of the year reflected the natural cycles they observed and depended upon. This system reflected their deep connection to nature's rhythms. The Egyptians' lives were intricately tied to the cycles of the natural world, and their calendar was a testament to this relationship. Similarly, the Mayans created a complex calendar system that tracked not only the solar year but also planetary cycles. Their understanding of time was incredibly advanced, incorporating the movements of the sun, moon, and planets. They believed in recurring eras, each with its own unique energy and destiny. These eras were part of a grand cycle that influenced their culture, religion, and daily life. Their concept of time was cyclical, with history repeating itself through these grand cycles. The Mayans saw time as a series of repeating patterns, each bringing its own challenges and opportunities. These ancient civilizations recognized the cyclical nature of time in the universe. They understood that time was not a straight line, but a series of loops and cycles, each connected to the natural world. Their calendars weren't just tools for measuring time. They were reflections of their worldview, a worldview that saw time not as a straight line but as a constantly repeating cycle. These calendars were deeply symbolic, representing the interconnectedness of all things. This cyclical understanding of time influenced every aspect of their lives, from agriculture and architecture to religion and philosophy. It shaped their perception of the universe and their place within it, reminding them of the eternal cycles that govern all existence. The Industrial Revolution brought about a dramatic shift in our perception of time. Before this era, time was often seen as a natural, flowing element, closely tied to the cycles of nature and the rhythms of daily life. People rose with the sun and rested when it set, their activities dictated by the seasons and the environment around them. However, the advent of industrialization changed all that. With the rise of factories and mass production, time became a commodity, something to be measured, managed, and optimized. The factory system introduced a new way of thinking about time, where every second counted and efficiency was paramount. This shift was not just about the machines and the products they created, but about the very way people lived and worked. The clock, once a tool for tracking the stars and marking the passage of days, transformed into an instrument for measuring work and productivity. It became a symbol of the new industrial age, where time was money and every tick of the clock represented potential profit or loss. This change was profound, affecting not just the workplace but society as a whole. Factory life demanded precise timekeeping. Workers were expected to adhere to strict schedules, with their days divided into carefully measured segments of work and rest. The concept of the workday, with its fixed hours and regimented breaks, became the norm. This new structure brought about a sense of order and predictability, but it also imposed a rigid framework on people's lives. Workers clocked in and out, their wages determined by the hour. This system of time-based compensation reinforced the idea that time was a valuable resource, one that needed to be carefully managed and controlled. The time clock became a ubiquitous feature of the industrial workplace, a constant reminder of the importance of punctuality and productivity. Time became a valuable resource, carefully managed and controlled. Employers sought to maximize the efficiency of their workers, while employees learned to navigate the demands of the new industrial schedule. This focus on time management extended beyond the factory floor, influencing all aspects of life, from education to leisure activities. This newfound focus on efficiency and productivity solidified the linear view of time, emphasizing progress and forward momentum. The idea that time could be saved, spent, or wasted became ingrained in the collective consciousness. This perspective encouraged a relentless pursuit of improvement and innovation, driving the rapid advancements of the industrial era. The phrase, "time is money," perfectly encapsulates this shift in perspective. It highlights the economic value placed on time and the belief that every moment has a monetary worth. This mindset has had a lasting impact, shaping the way we think about time and its role in our lives. Time was no longer a natural rhythm, but a resource to be maximized and exploited. This change brought about significant benefits, such as increased productivity and economic growth, but it also had its drawbacks. The relentless focus on efficiency often led to a sense of urgency and stress, as people struggled to keep up with the demands of the industrial schedule. This mentality extended beyond the factory floor, influencing all aspects of life. The principles of time management and efficiency became central to modern society, affecting everything from education to personal relationships. People began to organize their lives around the clock, striving to make the most of every moment. The Industrial Revolution's legacy continues to shape our relationship with time today. We live in a world where time is constantly measured, managed, and optimized. The principles of efficiency and productivity that emerged during the industrial era remain deeply embedded in our culture, influencing the way we work, learn, and live. We schedule our days into neat segments, striving for maximum efficiency. From the moment we wake up to the time we go to bed, our lives are governed by the clock. This approach has its benefits, such as increased productivity and the ability to accomplish more in less time, but it also comes with its challenges. While this approach has its benefits, it also traps us in a rigid framework, disconnecting us from the natural rhythms that once governed human life. The constant pressure to be productive can lead to stress and burnout, as we struggle to keep up with the demands of modern life. As we move forward, it is important to find a balance, recognizing the value of time while also allowing ourselves the freedom to live in the moment. In the early 20th century, Albert Einstein revolutionized our understanding of time with his theory of relativity. Einstein shattered the Newtonian concept of absolute time, proposing instead that time is relative, dependent on the observer's frame of reference. According to Einstein, time is not a constant, but rather a dimension interwoven with space, forming a fabric called space-time. This fabric can be warped and bent by gravity. Objects with a large mass, like stars and black holes, create significant distortions in space-time, affecting the flow of time nearby. One of the astonishing implications of relativity is time dilation. Time slows down in stronger gravitational fields. This means that time passes slightly slower at sea level than on a mountaintop, where gravity is weaker. Einstein's theories challenged our intuitive understanding of time, demonstrating its malleable and relative nature. Time was no longer a rigid, universal constant, but a fluid entity influenced by gravity and motion.